With Ramadan right around the corner, millions of Pakistanis were caught off guard by the worst floods the region has experienced since 1929. Many of them were sleeping when the water rushed into their homes. More than 14 million Pakistanis were affected by the floods, and millions of the victims are now homeless. As the Muslim world observes and celebrates the holy month of Ramadan, rainfall and flooding have overshadowed any festivities Pakistanis' flood victims had planned. Tens of thousands of villages and vast acres of farmland have already been washed away, and many of the victims have lost both their homes and their livelihoods. Many fear they will not be able to support their families after the floods subside and reconstruction begins. It's still too early to predict the full scope of the damage, but as food, water, and supplies dwindle, disease and malnutrition become the biggest threats to the victims' survival. More than 1,600 lives have already been claimed by the floods, and as more rain continues to fall, the people are becoming increasingly desperate for support. Islamic Relief is actively involved in the relief effort in Pakistan.
It stopped raining. It was raining earlier on, and the land is actually all wet now. We have managed to set some tents here. They've lost their house, and this is where they've ended up. There are many around who are just waiting, who don't have a tent. Got some water, contaminated water. It was dirty water, and his mother, actually, you can see, is trying to boil the water, and so they can at least drink this. This is how desperate the situation is. We have about 55 tents which we have set up here yesterday, but 55 is like a drop in the ocean, and there are hundreds and hundreds of people who are in desperate need of shelter. And some of these children around, they are just wearing same pair of clothes, and some of them you can see they are in their own slippers, and this is how the situation is.
With more than 500 staff members in the country, Islamic Relief was able to respond immediately and with a wide variety of projects. In addition to providing thousands of victims with food and water, Islamic Relief has been distributing tents, hygiene kits, and other supplies. In Nowshera and Mardan, Islamic Relief is also administrating camps that are housing thousands of now homeless and stranded flood victims. Despite these efforts, many of the people are hungry and hopeless, crowding into small living spaces where thousands are forced to share a single bathroom, if there is one that is still operable. Islamic Relief is constructing dozens of latrines to help thousands of people gain access to more adequate sanitation facilities, which should help prevent the spread of waterborne disease like diarrhea and cholera. But still, the floods have set the people back significantly. Islamic Relief USA's Vice President of Programs, Adnan Ansari, wanted to assess the situation on the ground himself and was deployed just a few days after the emergency was declared. On the ground, he surveyed the damage and helped with the aid effort.
Behind me is Kabul River, which has, and over here it has been raining for 12 hours consecutively. It has flooded over here, and on this side we see that all the cultivation has been destroyed. This was all corn and other cash crops which have been washed away. Now the people over there, they have no livelihood left for them. So we need to work on this in the long term. So temporarily there have been some tents and camps set up over here, but that does not solve the problem of sustainability. We need to work on that and continue working and helping the people in this area.
Every day, Islamic Relief staff are meeting people with heartbreaking stories.
This is absolutely heartbreaking. These children, 5 kids, they are orphans. She was actually looking after them, and they have ended up in this camp. I think the young one, she may be ill. It's race against time. These children need clean water, and this is there's nothing in there. Medical supplies, shelter. Luckily they do have a shelter, but there's nothing in there.
You can help people with stories like these.